Ohana means family.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze.
Hello, fine feathered friends. It is your host, Jay and
Andrea.
and this is the Disney Plus Us podcast, a podcast dedicated to Disney Plus streaming service. And at this magical podcast, not only will you get your news from Disney Plus, but we will also watch animated movies in
All of them?
sequential order.
No way.
And review each one. But today, my friends, you landed on the Black Cauldron.
The Cauldron of Black.
Which I don't know that I could put I could pick this one out of a lineup. I don't remember it if
really
I've seen it.
couldn't either. I don't think I've seen it.
Huh. Well, it could be great.
Could be great.
Could
We'll
be
find out.
terrible. Whatever. But first, my darling love, my wife,
Yes.
I gotta know. How are you doing?
Oh, you always ask every single time.
I know.
And I'm never prepared to answer.
It's okay.
Let's see. COVID hobbies. I guess I've been doing a sticker by number. It's
That's
like paint
right.
by number, only lazier and less messy.
It is true.
So I have musical icons that I can sticker by number, and I just finished the Weird Al one.
He is such an icon. I'm looking at it right now. It's put together. He has his accordion, and he looks chiseled, and he's wearing a plaid yellow it's a t-shirt?
It looks like a button down.
Button-down polo.
Yeah, because the bottom split.
Yeah.
So,
Good work.
yeah, thank
I'm
you.
impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
You know, just darn lovely. The weather's nice. There was a break in the heat. You were there. Went for a run this morning.
I was there.
It was fun.
You were way far ahead of me, but I was there.
Yeah, well, you know, that's fine. And staying healthy, watching stuff, playing stuff, doing stuff. It's all
good.
stuff is good, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, alas.
I should tell the listeners.
Oh, bring it on.
We have an exciting date coming up.
Like between you and
week.
me?
Yeah.
We hold
between you
hands
me.
and
we hold hands
That's
and stare
right.
into each other's eyeballs.
yeah. Oh.
Jay and I, as of this coming Wednesday,
Mhm.
will have been married officially 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
So, and according to my mother, this is the leather and glass anniversary.
I just don't want to get into there's this weird, like, here's all the stuff the years mean. Like, let's make our own. I want this to be the Nerf year. And then maybe next year can be the ice cream year.
Isn't every year the ice cream year?
Maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. But would that be bad?
Well, it gives you a good idea. Like, okay, it like narrows down your options
For
to have categories like that. You're
Do we
like,
even
what
need
should I get
presents?
these people? Well, it's glass and leather, so that narrows it down to belts and
Wine glasses.
which we already have.
We have lots of all these.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to do gifts. I don't know.
Well, we don't need to do gifts.
Yeah.
We just need to stare into each other's eyeballs.
Anyway. Anywho, I digress. All right. We do have some pretty exciting news to talk about.
Oh.
Boy. Yeah, Andrea. I'm going to talk about the news.
Okay. In today's news rundown, the big news, I feel,
Yes.
is Mulan.
Okay.
Mulan was set to be in theaters around this time. It probably would have already been released had it not been COVID. It would have been over $1 billion.
It was
Somewhere
supposed
north.
to come out in March, right? Like late March.
I think so.
Yeah, and they pulled it from the theaters because that's like right when everything was shutting down. No one felt comfortable being inside.
Exactly.
All the things.
And Disney did such a good job, like marketing this towards Asians or Asian countries and the U.S. and like they spent
They spent a lot of money
Exactly.
marketing this.
and the smartest minds went into spinning this right way. This was going to be a big one for Disney.
I was excited to see it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, now, good news, I guess. September 4th, it will be coming to Disney Plus, sort of.
You have to pay extra money. You have to have a Disney Plus account,
You do.
but then you also have to pay $30
$30.
to have this movie.
Now, you said it absolutely correctly. This is not just a high-priced rental like they've experimented with Amazon and the others. But this is, once you pay $30, this becomes part of your Disney Plus experience.
So we could watch it over and over and over again.
Exactly.
And really, like if we went to the theater, got popcorn, got a glass of wine, that's $30.
We've probably been saving money by the time
Well,
this is over.
They're probably thinking about families. Like if you pay to take a whole family and a whole bunch of kids to the movie, that's over $30.
Oh, easily.
So they probably priced it at kind of the midpoint per family.
But so here's what's also interesting. This is the first time it's really been done, and a lot of people are very angry that you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber, which is already $7 a month. And
no.
I know. Well, and to only have this for the Disney Plus, the theaters are very upset because they were very excited for Mulan. And there's a video of a theater owner just going ballistic on Mulan marketing material that he had in his theater.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of sad.
And we love our local movie theater.
We really do.
I'm going to be real honest. I don't feel comfortable to go and see a movie right now.
I really don't. They do have the option to rent out a movie theater for, was it $200?
Yeah.
Which...
And I think they're doing a good job of everybody wear masks, and they're only selling like they're not, if you buy a set of seats, they leave empty the seats around you. So they're trying to do a good job there. Jay and I just haven't been back yet. We just don't feel comfortable going.
And it's not the theater I'm worried about. It's the dumb people that I worry about.
Yeah, that aren't wearing masks and running around and touching everything and breathing
hacking
on you
up stuff
and coughing and like clearly sick but still there.
Yeah, and like I have my rights. I can go to a movie. Oh, jeez. So,
although those kind of people maybe won't go see Mulan.
I don't know. Well, they won't because it's not in the theater.
It's not going to be in the theaters. Yeah.
Anyway, so kind of interesting, kind of a experiment. September 4th, we'll see what happens.
Maybe we'll do a special episode of the podcast because I know you and I are going to pay the $30 and watch it.
Yeah, we will.
We will.
Disney parks are cutting hours in September.
Which I looked this up. It doesn't look like they're cutting them drastically. It looks like they're closing an hour early.
Despite what the headlines are saying. They're saying drastic cuts.
Drastically, and I'm like, really? And so I went and looked at the hours.
Not even
all the
close.
parks are closing an hour early, and Animal Kingdom's opening an hour later than normal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is that just like sanitizing, cleaning time, giving their employees a break? I don't know.
Well, and Disney World's been getting some weird news lately.
Really?
Yeah, I heard Splash Mountain broke down and one of the boats sank.
What?
But during the sinking, they were instructed to stay seated and stay inside their craft. So,
hell no.
yeah, they got out and filmed it, and it was hilarious. But yeah, there's been just some odd. And didn't you have a funny odd?
Yeah, but that was from 2019.
Oh,
so
I
that's
see.
not
a big
not
deal.
a recent. Yeah, I wonder how they've been doing trying to enforce masks and social distancing and all the things.
Not eating while walking.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Well,
They
where
don't
are you
allow-
supposed to eat in
You
Disney?
stay down at the restaurant.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on. Black is King. We
Yes.
saw this trailer. We were confused by this trailer.
It has been released now.
And
We
it-
have not watched it yet,
We have not.
but we will.
And it is getting amazing reviews.
Really?
98% on both like critic score and audience score. They say it's just as beautiful as a movie can be, and it makes points. And
we know more details now. We know this is considered a visual album. So at first we're like, is this a story? What is this? So I think there's some stories in there, but it's more like music and visuals, and it's Beyonce's project. And so we know a little bit more about what to expect going in.
yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Me too.
I have a feeling this is going to win some awards.
It's a cool. It's cool that people are accepting it and that it's doing really well, and I'm excited to see what it's about.
Also, the movie Howard is out.
Yeah, which we watched the trailer for that.
And and this is new, and it's essentially the musical lyricist to many of the
big three are Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast. He was the lyricist.
And
So they have all this like behind the scenes footage with this guy. It's a documentary. And I don't know if we should spoil it.
well, the
but
trailer did.
the trailer did. He got AIDS and I'm guessing passed away. And so his career was cut short, but did some really amazing lyrics for Disney.
It might be good to watch. I don't know. Might be nice. But enough about that. That wraps up the news segment for today.
That was excellent news, Jay.
Thank you.
Well done.
I Googled it myself. But we need to get into the Black Cauldron.
The Black Cauldron.
Yes.
Have you seen? You said you haven't seen this movie, right?
If I had, I don't think I could pick it out.
Yeah.
Of a lineup. It's going to be a complete mystery to me. Really, what I'm going to be watching.
See, I get it mixed up in my head with The Quest for Camelot, which was not a Disney movie. It was like an off-brand animation that came out probably like 10 years later. When did Quest for Camelot come out?
You know, I don't even know that
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, he hasn't seen Quest for Camelot either. Okay, so it's like medieval dragons and knights and, all that stuff. So I'm getting Quest for Camelot, which I have seen once, confused with the Black Cauldron, which I believe I have not seen.
Wow.
So I have no idea what to expect going in.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Which we do have a treat, and I'm going to spoil it now.
Okay.
The second half of this show, we will be joined by none other than Andrea's brother, my brother-in-law, Alex.
He is delightful. I think he has seen this movie, but he will be watching it again with us. First-time podcaster. So
Yeah,
we'll see how this goes.
Be nice to him, everybody.
Aw.
This is his first podcasting experience
It'll be
behind the
great.
mic.
So we're excited to have him.
With that, let's move on to some improv.
Okay.
Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron. We know nothing about this movie. It's hard to set up an improv scene. But I was thinking, you think cauldrons, you think witches, you think magic users, and then you think like Knights of the Round Table and dragons. But most people are peasants. So, for our improv scene, we will have a magic user of some kind being approached by a peasant who needs help finding something that is lost. Which would you like to play?
I'll be the magic user.
I'll be the peasant.
Okay.
Are you a wizard or a warlock or...
What's the difference between a wizard and a
I
warlock?
have no idea. Okay,
Okay.
you're a wizard.
Boom, 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 boom on the streets. Yes, it is.
Excuse me, sir.
Who's tugging at my zap zing? Sorry, my magic wand gets a little.
Yeah, almost hit me with that
Yeah,
there.
sorry. Then
well, I'm
trigger happy.
I'm Isabel, the peasant. I live down the road, and
Why have I never seen you before, Isabel?
well, I was away for a while at my uncle's farm, and that's like way out in the
You
country.
talk too much. Why are you here?
Okay, so the reason I'm here is my dad lost his very best cart. His
Cart?
peasant cart.
Like from horses? Pull cart?
Yeah. Like, and he needs it for his job. And
I
so,
didn't steal it. Did you think I stole it?
No, but you're a wizard, right?
Well, yes. How did you
Can-
know? Oh, the firing and the thing.
Well,
yeah,
I saw
sorry.
I
sparks.
saw the
Yeah.
sparks. So, I'm hoping you can help him find his cart, because it's his
Have you not
job.
tried?
Well, we kind of looked around, but we think maybe it got stolen.
Oh, so it's not really lost. It's stolen.
Well, we don't know. But, I mean, it didn't just walk off on its own unless, a wizard came and enchanted it or something.
I do not like what you're insinuating, young girl.
Do you
he
mind
pulls out
if I
his-
take a look around?
Pulls out his
hold
wand
on,
and he
hold
goes,
on.
froggity, oggity, oggity,
Hold
bit. What? Okay.
Just let me take a look
You
around.
are about to be a frog.
I don't want to be a frog.
Don't-
I just want to find my dad's cart.
I know.
Okay, I'm just
Okay.
going to look in this closet over here.
Excuse me. This is private property.
That's a cart in the closet.
Oggity, froggity, bobbity, boom.
Ribbit.
And scene. Oh my gosh.
It always ends with your character like doing something terrible.
This girl did provoke.
She's just looking for the cart.
I was ready to help, but anyway, let's actually watch the trailer, see how close we were.
Okay, we're probably pretty close.
Oh, definitely. Walt Disney.
Legend has it, there was once a king so cruel and so evil that the gods feared him.
Oh no.
Since no
We're just saying
prison could
swirly
hold
stuff.
him, he was trapped forever in the form of a great black cauldron.
Wait, what?
That black-hearted devil.
Walt Disney Pictures presents The Black Cauldron.
Sweet.
Escape into a world of darkness.
Are you coming?
Little kid and the dog.
In there? Oh, no. It's a terrible place.
A world
I
of
like his
excitement.
voice.
Dragons.
A world of dreams.
The greatest warrior of two heroes.
And through the magic of 70mm photography and 6-track Dolby sound,
It's a lot of millimeters.
you will be transported to a fantasy event for the entire family.
Look, sire, it's working.
This is totally Smeagol.
Sounds like Smeagol.
In the great tradition of Disney animated classics, now comes the newest Disney spectacle of them all, The Black Cauldron.
Cool. So it's like a fairy tale.
We weren't wrong.
I mean, there was a magic user or two in that.
And Smeagol was there for sure.
Yeah, and there's definitely a peasant.
I think we did well.
I think we did pretty good.
Well, I'm excited.
Should we watch it?
I think we should.
2, 3, 4.
It's time for the movie.
Which remote do we use again?
I'll get the popcorn.
There could be spoilers.
We'll be back in 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back. We just watched.
The Black Cauldron.
Wow. We are joined by Black Cauldron expert Alex Huckabee.
I've seen it a time or two.
Odd that was his major, but no. Anyway, so first off, let's do initial reactions. Alex, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was very visually striking. The animations just kind of left me oohing and eyeing at just about every scene. Very classic good versus evil, where right when the bad guy comes in, you're like, yeah, that's a bad guy.
It was very obvious.
Oh yeah.
The sharp horns, the tormented castle.
See, what's funny to me is when I first saw that castle, I imagined the pitch room. I think it even came up on the couch when we were talking. It was like, all right, Stan, we need a spooky castle. And then they come back a day later. Oh, Stan, what?
You get a gold star.
Good job,
Wow,
Stan.
you get a promotion.
It was a very spooky castle.
Extremely spooky, like to the point I kind of wanted to curse or I don't know. It also reminded me of a bit of He-Man, just the art style and the raw like skulls and bones.
Yeah, Skeletor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They really didn't pull their punches from the knit and grit. I mean, when the cauldron was bubbling and the blood was coming out, and it was perceived as blood because it was like thick and red.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty gross. Miss Andrea, initial reaction.
Deep sigh. Okay, so I have never seen this movie before. I had, unbeknownst to me, until I started watching it, I'm like, this seems familiar. I had read the first in the book series. It's a 5-book series that this movie was based off of.
What?
So I'm like, these names, and this seems really familiar. So, and I remember kind of enjoying the book series, but not enjoying it enough to continue reading books 2 through 5. So my first reaction was, whoa, I've read this. And then my second reaction was, huh. I don't remember a lot of this stuff happening.
In the book.
Yeah.
For me, my reaction, it hit a little too close to Lord of the Rings, which is not bad. But also it felt rushed and a little all over the place.
Yeah, the pacing was a
It
little
was
off.
really fast. All that to say, did I have fun? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did I enjoy the elements and the hard work that the artist and the writers put in? Yes. Will I see this again and get a tattoo? Probably not. All right. That being said, let's take a deep dive into the play-by-play.
Okay. So we open up on a farm and we see a boy, our main character,
The protagonist.
Taryn, the
Yeah.
protagonist, who is unsatisfied with his life. Well, no, first we get kind of the opening sequence. We get a dark story about the cauldron that has been infused with an evil king and will bring back an army of the dead.
A lot of exposition.
Yeah, a lot of exposition. Okay, so then we open up on the farmhouse. We meet Taryn. We find out Taryn wants to go off and fight and be a great warrior. But he can't do those things because his job is to watch the pig.
Well, those stories of glory are very attractive, so he's like, man, I just want to...
It's funny that he is such a pig, or what do they call it, assistant. He's not even the head pig keeper.
He's not the pig keeper. He's the pig keeper's assistant.
But then we meet the pig, and the pig is freaking cute.
yeah,
the
pig is really cute. Henwin is the
Henwig,
pig's name.
the pig.
Okay, question. How old is this guy? This main character, Taryn?
I would say between 10 and 12.
See, I was thinking a little older than that.
I was thinking about 12, maybe up to 14, but...
Okay. Is it because he was dreaming of fighting and he was kind of stupid and clumsy?
No, I mean, visually, they drew I would say he's just a hair under puberty here.
Okay, his voice was unchanged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you were young boys, did you dream of fighting and glory?
I was a pig farmer dreamer. No, I'm
nice,
kidding.
Nice.
Yeah, one of these days.
I actually, for a long time, I'm like, oh man, I was born in the wrong era. I should have been born as a knight and I could have fought people. And then, like, I take a step outside of that as an adult and I'm like, man, times weren't really good for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, as a younger man, you understand
Yes.
the impulse to want to go off and fight and be noble and all the things.
Okay, so the headmaster of the pig is like, no, your job is important. You have no idea how important this pig is. And then we learn the pig is magic. The pig comes up.
Pig freaks out. And he's like, oh, Henwin's afraid of something. And the pig keeper's like, bring her inside, quick. So they go inside, and the pig, they put her near water, and she sees all these, like, visions in the water that the pig is producing.
That's right. And the visions kind of come through, and right away the master says, get this pig out of here. We don't really know where he's planning to take him.
Just get him away from here because they're looking for the pig.
Your job is very important right now. And so this 12-year-old boy is running with the pig willy-nilly into the woods.
Doesn't know where he's going.
And meanwhile, he's like fantasizing about being a great warrior.
He catches his reflection in the pool and he sees himself in armor and gets completely distracted.
Yes.
Pig
that is
wanders off
true. Pig's gone.
like they do.
And so he gets out this apple to try and entice the pig back.
Meet Gurgi.
Gurgi.
Best character in the movie.
How would you describe Gurgi? Is Gurgi like a dog or like a baby monkey?
A
or-
blatant rip-off of Smeagol. That is
but
Gurgi.
it doesn't look like Smeagol. The
No.
voice is a ripoff.
Yeah, and the
And the
attitude.
anime.
But
Animation.
technically, Gurgi was first before Smeagol.
Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, you're talking about the
books.
movie, the like animated movie.
No, the books.
That too came out a while ago, but the books, like the way that they described
Yeah.
Schmeagol, the movements and the speech, it was very
was all
similar.
there.
I'm
I'm going to say it was based on
I didn't
it.
pick up on that, but okay.
Anyway,
Less
so
internal conflict.
Gurgi. Yeah, I guess he's
Gur-
kind of a half dog, half midget, half
Monkey type, just
yeah.
really a hairy little dude.
He's
kind of a jerk, but kind of adorable.
clearly have lived in the woods alone for a while.
And he
Yes.
calls the apple his munchings and crunchings.
Which is also, it feels Smeagol-y to me.
It's in the book. That's a moment where I'm like, holy crap, I've read this.
Oh,
Because you meet Gurgi and immediately he's just food obsessed and talking about munchings and crunchings, and he will starve unless they give him food.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so going forward, they make it to a castle.
Well, they see the pig being carried off.
Yeah.
Because Gurgi's been distracted, and Gurgi's like, oh, I saw your pig. It was going this way. So they walk over right as a dragon sweeps down and claws up the pig and carries it off to the castle.
That's right. And this castle is evil.
Yeah, it is like Exhibit A if you look up Evil Castle on Google.
It looked like it had been long forgotten, but still like towering.
And Gurgi's like, I'm not going in there. See you later.
I kind of want to hear more about the backstory of the Horned King and how he got his dragons. That seems like an interesting book.
He's got all these like thugs just hanging out in the castle, even though they're clearly afraid of him.
Yeah.
And he's got these dragons that do his bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of looks like Skeletor, but he's not actually
Yeah.
a skeleton because there's a skeleton under his skeleton. So
He's really decaying. Maybe black magic?
yeah, and we see him plotting. He wants to get the Black Cauldron so he can have an army of dead people.
Yeah, and that's why he wants the Black Cauldron, is because, yeah, the army of dead people. So
So we find out he's kidnapped the pig because the pig can see visions.
Apparently, he's on this big hunting spree for anything that can predict the future or help locate a magical item.
Yeah.
And so he's been through many things. This magical pig that sees the future is just the latest.
Yes. So the pig, he drags the pig in. He's like, see the future. And then stupid Taryn is like, no, and jumps down. They immediately capture him.
Throw him in the dungeon.
First they're like,
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'll never help you. And they're like, well, we'll just chop the pig's head off.
He's like, no.
He's like, no, never mind. I'll help you.
And he with the pig managed to sort of escape, throw the pig off of the top level of this crazy tall castle.
Pig lands in the moat, gets away.
And then
they
Taryn,
grab Taryn, who's not smart enough to jump off after him.
Yeah.
It took so long to push the pig over the ledge.
He did so many things in this movie where I'm like, dude,
He was a kid.
you are so dumb.
Yeah.
So you just want to like shake him because he's just a moron.
You're like cringing.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets thrown in the dungeon. In walks our princess.
From the floor.
Yeah, she moves a giant brick from the floor. Sorry.
Microphones are here.
For a reason.
Yeah, she moves that brick out of the floor, pops up and is like, oh, hey, my name is, how do you say it?
I think it's Princess
Alenwy?
Alenwy. It sounded French to me.
Alenwy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she pops up. She's got like a gold floaty thing.
By thing, it's like a fairy.
It's like a little ball that follows her around.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I got kidnapped ages ago because they thought my floaty ball could help them find the cauldron. So I've just been in the dungeon for a while.
You want to escape with me?
She looked remarkably clean and like sane for having just been in that horrible castle for that long.
It's true.
Her clothes were a little tattery, so.
Yeah. So she pops up. She's like, are you a knight or someone important or strong?
And he's like, no, I'm a pig farmer.
And she's like, well, you can come with me if you want.
Yeah.
So he follows her. They somehow find a bard.
The bard also gets kidnapped because of his harp or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got a harp that the strings break every time he tells a lie, which gives him away.
Yeah.
So they help him kind of escape, and somehow Taryn finds a sword. A magical sword.
Of the dead body of a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, tell us about this sword.
Oh, so it's glowing, it's golden, it's jewel encrusted, it is magic.
Magic sword. And it seems to have a mind of its own.
Anytime he's in danger, it like glows, lifts itself up, and slashes at things.
Which turns out to be pretty helpful when escaping from Evil Castle.
And it can cleave like I like all the symbology with cauldrons that they had. They just kept popping up.
There were just
casual,
cauldrons, just
normal,
random.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Interesting. You're like, is that the? No,
Nope.
it's not.
Other one. Nope.
Is that the?
No,
No,
not it.
that's not it.
But the sword was cutting through all of this, even like a really thick metal chain to the gate, like it was butter.
Yeah. So you're thinking, okay, this sword can destroy the cauldron. Sweet. Cool. So they escape. They get free. The evil horned king finds out and was like, follow them. They will take me to the cauldron.
And then they wind up in a fairyland, right? And the first fairies we meet are actually voiced by children and like real voice actor children. Rarely does that work for me. Like I was telling Andrea, like I think the only time it works is in the Peanuts cartoons, where you just know all of their voices and that's how it is. But yeah, it felt weird and they look too much like Keebler elves or Rice Krispie people.
Lot like Keebler elves, yeah.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah. So the fairy world was weird, but it was a plot device to get us to oh, we know where the cauldron is. It's over at this place. And, oh, yeah, here's your pig. We found your pig.
That's right.
We'll send him home for you.
Yeah. So one of the cranky elves goes with the pig to go back to the farm. Meanwhile, the other three that just escaped the castle are like, let's go track down and destroy.
They do meet up with Gurgi yet again.
Yeah,
so
Gurgi
is back with them at this point.
That's right.
And Terran is put out with Gurgi because Gurgi did not follow him into spooky evil castle.
He calls him a coward, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Gurgi is still tagging along.
he's still Gurgi. He likes Master.
So they go to this bog place where 3 witches live, and they go into their little witch hut, and the
we
witches
see a bunch of eyes everywhere.
and lo and behold, they are frogs. They've been turning people into frogs.
We got really excited because we're like, oh, our improv scene was right.
More or less.
More or less. So all the frogs bounce around. The witches chase them around for a little bit. And then we find out.
Well, they see the sword.
Yeah.
And they know they're here. The witches understand the group is here for the cauldron. They devise up this little plan. Give us the sword. We'll give you the cauldron.
Which these witches looked like a little bit like the Hocus Pocus trio. I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
I saw that. I don't know.
I didn't quite get there.
You didn't get there with that.
But
Yeah.
I mean, three
classic
witches.
witch archetypes. Like,
Yeah. You've got the short, bosomy one.
The like ugly,
skinny, losing teeth one.
Yeah.
And the other one.
which is
The other
like
one.
right between the two.
So, yeah, they devise up a bargain, the sword for the cauldron.
They're like, oh, that's a powerful sword.
Of course, our hero takes it.
Yeah. We're thinking, no, don't give the sword away. That's the only way you're going to be able to destroy the cauldron.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to give the sword away because he wants to be a great knight someday.
But he gives it away.
He gives it up.
And then they learn the rules of the cauldron. Once the deal is done, they say, okay, the rules of the cauldron are it cannot be destroyed, period. There's no way to destroy it.
There's no way to destroy it.
The only way to actually destroy it is if a living thing of free will jumps inside. Gurgi almost does. He's like, I'll go jump in. And then they go, but they will not return ever. So it's pretty much suicide.
Yeah, you will die if you get in this cauldron. So they're like, crap, well, how do we destroy this thing? That's our only
Meanwhile,
option.
that's when our friends, the evil like King Horn or whatever, and his men and dragons find these guys.
They just show up.
They show up and bam, we're back at the evil castle again.
I've been
It's
here
like,
before.
We traveled all this way. They went to all that trouble to escape, and they're just back strung up by their heels again in the evil castle.
With the cauldron this time.
With the cauldron this time.
But this time, like, Gurgi shows up and he's being really brave.
Yeah. He's like, I'll help you. He unties him.
Yeah. And this time the Terran is like, I'm going in. Guys.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, sorry.
The Horned King uses the cauldron to raise all the skeletons back to life, and they are now his undead army. And so they start marching out on the world.
They're just
Slowly.
like, destroy everything in your
Destroy
path.
everything. And so they're like, well, shoot, the world's going to end unless we do something.
And this is when Terran's like, I'm going. This is kind of on me. I'm just a pig master. And he starts heading towards...
No, Master can't. Master can't jump in the cauldron. Master has friends. Gurgi has none.
And just like those words were the last words Gurgi said after he jumped in the cauldron. I have no friends. Pew! Down he goes.
I think all three of us, like, our jaws just fell open. We're like, what?
And then the skeleton army that's been alive for all of 45 seconds starts dropping to the ground. And then King Horn or whatever comes around. He's like, what is this? And he wants to sacrifice his little gross little thing.
In order to get the cauldron working right. Makes
But
sense.
I don't know that it does.
No,
like,
we hadn't
imagine,
heard-
is it an on-off switch? One body in, one body on-off?
Yeah, I think that's the way he was treating it was, well, it stopped working. I guess I have to throw another body in because it started out with him throwing a skeleton in, and that's what started the whole chain reaction.
And
so,
right about this moment is when the cauldron's like, oh, I'm hungry, and starts like this crazy wind vortex type thing, pulling everything towards it.
well,
Yeah.
I think that started when Gurgi jumped in. I
Did it?
think Gurgi triggered the
Wind
it
the
was
vortex.
sucking
giant
up the
Yeah.
green
souls.
wind
Yeah.
vortex.
So, because of this crazy wind vortex, the Bone King,
The Horn
Horn
king,
King.
with horns, the horned king.
yeah, who looks crazy scary, but
He's
in reality, like,
He's got a good voice too.
great voice, but he's actually kind of a weenie. He got pulled and sucked in, like you see his skin come off of his bones and then get sucked into the pot.
Okay, he totally looks like Skeletor, but turns out he had a skeleton under his skeleton.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Because his skeleton came off and there was a skeleton underneath.
I think he was like a lich where his flesh was decaying on the outside.
So just the decaying flesh came off. Okay, yeah, I saw that happen
Yeah,
in this movie.
It was horrifying.
it was very
horrifying.
for a Disney movie. Very like shocking.
Okay, so he goes in. All the dead gets sucked back in. Bam.
The pot's dead.
The cauldron, the power has been neutralized by Gurgi's noble sacrifice.
And the entire creepy castle is like, I'm going to use right now to collapse due to the magic of the cauldron.
Yeah, so the evil castle starts collapsing. They make it out.
They're in the moat.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, let's go home."
That was fun.
They do. They're on a boat or something, and they go home. And then suddenly the witches appear from this heavens. And they're kind of up in the clouds looking down, saying, "Well,
You're not using this cauldron anymore.
we'll take it." And then the old guy, I think his name's Flam, the bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, no, we gotta trade. And they try and give back the sword. So, which begs the questions, why did they even want the sword if they're willing to just swap right back?
Right. And does the cauldron still have power that we don't know about if they want the cauldron back
Yeah.
that badly?
It must.
Yeah.
Well, and then the nobly.
Well,
Taryn-
Taryn first off is like, "Yay, my sword," and then he's like, "Oh,"
They're like, you can be a great warrior.
he's like, "Yes," and
And
then
he's
he
like,
remembers,
"No,
It's
no."
like, no.
"Oh yeah, Gurgi gave his life for this. Maybe instead of getting my sword back, I should try and help him."
They're like, impossible. That's beyond our power.
No, the motivation was, I am a pig farmer. That is what I am. And
He has accepted his.
he doesn't
role
want to be
in
a
life.
warrior.
Yeah, not
He's
after
been
that.
there, done that.
Yeah, been there,
that
done that.
wasn't fun for me.
And so the witches say, "No, impossible. I cannot give you Gurgi's life back." And they're like, I thought you had power. So they do. They gave Gurgi's
Yeah,
life
they're
back.
like, "Okay, fine."
They're like, I thought you had real power.
And then they like
Just
zoom
boom.
around and take the pot and return Gurgi. And pretty much Gurgi comes back and makes an apple joke, crunch munch joke. And
crunchies around.
then we get our credits right there.
Yeah, and there's the movie scene.
Huh. Yeah. And that, to me, it felt rushed. I think I brought that up earlier, but
Yeah.
it's like jump, jump, jump. Oh, never mind. And
Keep in mind, this is a multi-book series with like over 30 significant characters in it. And they tried to distill it down into an hour-and-a-half movie or whatever
For
it
kids.
was. For kids. So they left a lot out and they jumped a lot of steps to get where they were getting.
And the things they didn't leave out kind of lacked explanation, like the fairy that was following around.
Yeah. Yeah, in the
The
book,
princess.
the fairies were hilarious, especially the disgruntled one.
yeah.
It was like a high point in the book. It's like, this is really funny. But in the movie, it kind of fell flat because everything was just so rushed that you like didn't care about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it is time to jump into
Here are true facts about
the Black Cauldron. Okay, we have scoured the internet. We have done our research, and we have found some true facts.
Okay, so I'll jump in first.
Okay.
Again, like we saw with Fox and the Hound, there is an old guard and a new guard for the Disney animators at this point. The new guard, they're young, they're excited, they want to do innovative, cool things. The old guard thinks that they're whiny and they should just shut up and draw what they're told to draw.
Okay.
So you have this push-pull of let's do cool things and come on, guys, churn it out.
Keep it traditional.
And so we saw this in The Fox and the Hound also. Like there are moments of, oh, this is really cool, but it's such a huge departure from what Disney is known for. And that is a lot of the result of this culture clash that's happening within Disney. So
Interesting. Huh. Okay, I got one. All right. This is the first Disney animated film that's not a musical, and it contains no songs, neither performed by characters nor in the background. So it was just an orchestral score was the only music there.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. It did a good job. But yeah, not one song.
not one song the
No.
whole time. Okay. This movie cost... Well, first off, it was the first animated film to use some computer graphics and use computer-generated images for some of the background stuff, which we noticed. Like, there's one scene where there are these stormy clouds behind our main character, and it was really cool. It was something different.
It looked like video.
Yeah.
It was. I'm sure it was. It was not.
Yeah.
You could kind of see the cutout of the characters, but it wasn't like bad at all. It was very clean.
So they were doing some innovative things. They were incorporating computers. This movie cost $44 million to make.
Wow.
And this movie made less than half of that.
Ooh.
21.
Domestically. So it flopped big time. And there was speculation at the time after this movie came out that Disney animation was dead.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was not a good film in the whole Disney sequence.
No. Well, it's known by many as the movie Disney tried to bury. And fans of the fantasy genre and this movie have tried many, many times to get the deleted footage restored, but have failed.
Yes.
Unfortunate.
There was 15 minutes of completely animated, like scored, ready to go footage that they cut out of this movie.
Wow.
For time or because it was too scary for the kids or something.
The whole movie was too scary for the kids.
Yeah,
It
it
was-
was. So what did they cut?
Well, yeah, which
Probably backstory.
Probably some explanation or something that made us care about the characters.
All right, I got one more fun fact for you.
Okay.
This is Tim Burton's only other involvement with a full-length Disney animated film.
I saw
The
his
first
name.
one was The Fox and the Hound.
That's right.
And the second was this movie. He was one of the young guard of Disney that was clashing with management.
Oh, shoot. I do have one more fun fact for you on
Go
this.
for it. Yeah.
This film received no video release. By that, I mean on VHS tape until 1998
That's why we never saw it.
due to the film's dark content.
Because most of our Disney movies, unless we went to the theater to see it, we'd watch it on VHS.
Exactly.
So,
Interesting.
very interesting. 1984 or 85?
I think 85.
Okay.
Okay.
I definitely would have been too young.
Should we jump to the princess scale?
Yes.
Leadership, morality, fashion, singing, not this time. X
The
Factor.
Disney Princess's 5-point princess score is...
So we decided Princess Ellen Wee. I'm never going to say that right. Ellen Wee. We decided since she was a princess and she's in a Disney movie, we should probably rate her on the 5-point princess scale.
Even though not traditionally thought of as a character even for Disney.
She is left out of all those like Disney princess lunchboxes and coloring books.
But she is a princess.
She is a princess.
This is a Disney animated movie.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay.
So, just as a reminder, we've got 5 characteristics of a princess, and it's a 5-point scale. So 1 to 5, 5 being very good, 1 being not great at all. And we're going to go through each of us and give our rating for each of the qualities. First one is leadership. Jay, rating and reasoning.
Leadership, I gave her a 3. She really kicked off the movie by freeing our protagonist, Taryn, and then she kind of quickly faded into the background. She did not exude leadership beyond mending some guy's pants, the Flam's pants.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think she did a great job. I don't think she finished the mend. So I'm splitting the difference and giving her 3.
Alex?
I did the same thing for the same reasons. Like, if it wasn't for her being like, oh, what are you still doing in this? Like, what are you doing in this dungeon? Oh, you can come with me, I guess. I know you're not a noble or a knight, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. She started out, I'm like, yeah, she's a badass. She's taking charge. She's going to bust out of this prison. You can come if you want. But then very quickly she turned like all weepy and then like didn't do anything the rest of the movie.
Very odd.
So that was a little disappointing.
Quick crying scene to being called a silly girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
she stood up for herself and said, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be here. So,
Exactly.
I mean, she did have some good points. I just wish there were more of her and less of whiny Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Morality.
I gave her a 4. I was feeling generous, but she did nothing but positive moves in this. She was always looking out for the lives of everybody, no matter whom. And for that, I give her a 4.
I ended up giving her a 5, actually, because she stayed with it through thick and thin. She didn't have any sort of weapons or anything, but she cared about the situation. She went into the depths of all this scary crap just to make sure that it actually happened.
Try to save the world. Yeah, you're right. She didn't really have any moments of like, she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. Like she was very like well behaved and kind and all the things. So yeah, I'd give her. She didn't stop Gurgi from jumping in the cauldron.
Who could? He was like right on the edge, and
Yeah.
he was trying to stop the boy from jumping in the.
And there were also a few moments when they first escaped from Evil Castle where they just kind of left the bard behind.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think he was gonna make it, and they didn't really care.
And then he's just there in the next scene.
So I think I'm gonna knock a point off for that. So I'll give her a 4. Fashion sense.
I gave her a fat 2. She was not fashionable. She could barely mend some other guy's trousers. And
Well, it's not sewing skills. It's
I know,
what
but
is she wearing?
that is part of fashion
Ah.
is your ability to
Is
maintain.
it? Okay.
I don't know. She didn't seem to care about. She was very practical. She didn't care about her looks. She was all about getting the job done. Not that that's a bad thing, but fashion 2.
Alex.
Fashion 4. She had the
Oh.
bright pink and like the white, which somehow didn't get dirty, even though it was
Yeah.
really ragged and torn around the edge. Like not badly ragged, just like, oh, she's been through something.
Yeah.
And she managed to maintain that whole glow the entire movie, no matter what happened.
Well, and how did she keep that headband on her head?
I
Because
don't
it
know.
wasn't like under her hair on the bottom, it was over her hair. So it was like just resting there.
Wow.
But it stayed on the whole movie.
Impressive.
So I think I'll split the difference. I thought her outfit was cute, but also it wasn't a full length ball gown. It hit her mid shin. And so that gave her some room to like jump around and climb rocks and stuff. So very practical. She was wearing flats, very practical. And she seemed to like keep her nice hair like combed and not tangly and dirty and stuff. So well done there. I'll give her a 3. Singing. She did not sing.
So we all gave her 0s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of sang in our hearts because we were hoping like there was some musical scores
Just
that
a
started
little-
up.
She was screaming inside her heart.
The theme of 2020.
Oh boy.
Scream inside your heart. Yeah. So Ellen, we were just no singing. Sorry. We would give you points, but we just don't know.
You didn't do the job.
You didn't do the job. X Factor.
All right. This may be harsh, but this is my gavel dropping. I gave her a 2.
Woo.
Her X factor to me was this little magical yellow spot that flew around that did nothing.
We didn't get any explanation for that thing, and we didn't even see it.
It
Like
disappeared.
beyond that first bit.
It disappeared and then reappeared at the very end, and we're like, "What is that?"
And beyond that, she was just, but beyond getting free, she was, part of the ride. So
Yeah, I think I pointed out somewhere like 3/4 of the way through the movie. Hey, where's that yellow spot? Because it had just disappeared.
Tim Burton forgot to draw it in.
Where? Come on, Tim Burton, get your act together.
It was probably off doing something important, maybe.
Wearing stripes and being dark. Alex.
I gave her a 2. I mean, like, same thing. She had the magical fairy, and she seemed to have some knowledge about a few things in the beginning, but then, like, when she lost her kind of regal attitude, and I don't know, she just lost something.
It's when she cried. You lose your power when you cry.
Never cry, ever.
Never cry. I'm giving her a 1 for X Factor. I really wanted to like her after those opening scenes, but it was not enough. Wasn't enough.
All right, we have one more segment. Oh, wait. No. We need to hear the grand total, the finale. What is Princess Ellen Wee's official princess score? Andrea's calculating and tabulating.
Her official score is 24.
Can we do a rundown on what that means?
Yes. So her ranking, shockingly, she is not at the bottom of our princess rankings.
That's shocking, but
Yes. So number 1 still is Cinderella. Number 2 is Wendy from Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is Aurora. Number 4 is Ellen Wee. And number 5 is Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
yeah, Alice is a mess. Go back and listen to that show. We uncork on Alice.
So Cinderella is still in the lead. No one has successfully knocked her off her pedestal yet.
So far.
We got a lot of princesses coming
A
up.
lot of princesses coming up. All right, one more segment. It's going to be all Alex. Hold on.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Moral number 1. And the moral of today's story is...
Alex, what is the moral of
The Black Cauldron.
Please scream inside your hearts.
Otherwise, you'll wake Skeletor.
Is that it? Did you expand upon it enough? Do you feel confident in your
I'm pretty
moral?
confident with the moral.
Okay. All right.
Oh, hold up. We're not just going to leave it at that.
No, we can't.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Animaniacs is great, but
I mean, the whole thing they cycled back around to was Taran wanting to be like this great knight and warrior. And by the end, he was like, no, I'm happy with who I am.
Give me a pig farmer's life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
that's what I
careful
want.
what you wish for.
Maybe.
Because he got some adventure and decided it wasn't for him.
That's pretty much, that sums it up. He didn't really get much else besides adventure.
No, when I grow up, I'm going to be a pig farmer.
He got a girlfriend.
Yeah, he
Did
did.
Are they an item
Well,
now?
they smooched, and then
Oh,
he held
yeah.
out his hand to her.
Well,
at the
That's
end,
right.
So.
Gergie made him smooch, so that counts
Yeah.
halfway. They smiled
So
afterwards.
do you think she's older or is she the same age?
I don't know. I can't put a number on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be anything.
Well, not like 50.
No,
Anything.
she's clearly close to his age, but like it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like just like it is with him.
Yeah. Okay. We'll call that good.
Oh boy. Well, thank you so much for listening. Alex, it's been a treat and a treasure to have you on.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course, our next movie is The Great Mouse Detective.
Yes.
Oh man. It's been a while since I've seen that.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.